a little smoky. Today we're doing a just for funsy style video. Reason it's just for fun is because you can't buy this particular tool anymore. From what I understand, they stopped making this thing about 15 years ago, and what it is the Mastercraft. I remember back in the day we used to call, when I was in school, Mastercraft Master Crap. I don't remember why it earned that nickname. I went to high school with a guy we used to call Booger because he always picked his nose, but I don't know why Mastercraft earned that nickname. But anyway, originally, I should have seen this back in the day. Never actually got my hands on one. Tool Torque Test channel had probably a few months back, did a little demo on this, kind of a goofy tool type thing that they were talking about. I made a comment on that video, and the gentleman who supplied this to Torque Test channel, SomeGuy's Garage, said, "Hey, I got another one I found." I think he's just buying these off of eBay, and he said, "After I make my video, do you want to take a swing at it?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" So the gentleman up in Canada sent me this, and he actually sent me a bottle of maple syrup, real maple syrup, which has ruined me for the brown sugar crap that I've been eating my entire life. I've obviously used all the contents in this here jar, but yeah, so nice guy, maple syrup. if he would have thrown a hockey puck in the box with this thing, we would have hit the trifecta of Canadian stereotypes. But that aside, yeah, so I wanted to take a look at it just because it's so novel and cool, so basically what you got, it's a simple deal here. You take your drill. I got one around here somewhere. There you go. We'll say this guy, Milwaukee drill, for example reasons. You stick that. Oop, geez, almost. You stick that in the truck. You tighten it down, and it turns your drill into a somewhat heavy duty or medium duty impact. You basically got right here your torque setting on the thing. All the way down, you're driving screws with it, which is kind of goofy because even back then, screwdrivers still had the impact dial on them. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. And torque it all the way down, and you're busting nuts loose with it. On the end, it's a 1/2 inch drive, and on the inside there, it's a 1/4 inch drive for your 1/4 inch drivers. So what I think I want to do today is let's kind of see what the limits of this thing is as far as running one of these off of a drill. As you've already seen, like I said, this thing goes back to the aughts, so I don't really buy new drills that much. I'm only drilling metal, and you don't need high torque drills to do what I got to do. So yeah, this is just an old brushed Milwaukee. I tell you what model it is, but it's small. But it's 3/8 drive, M12. We're going to put the 6 amp hour in it just to give it its best chance. And I got a old brushed DeWalt, which is a DC 0771. I've probably had it 8 years. It probably goes back longer than that, maybe 10 years. And then, if it warrants, we'll step it up to the old brushed DeWalt DCD 980 1/2 inch wrist breaker style drill. So what I'm thinking we'll do is, I got my truck parked out in front of my house. The lug nuts on that truck are 450 to 500 foot-pounds you could torque them to. So I'm just going to pop 4 lugs off of it, and then we'll torque them progressively to, I guess we'll just divide 500 into 4s, and then we'll go up from there. I'll get the numbers right here. We'll start off 125, 250, 375, and up to 500 foot-pounds of torque there. We'll start off with this, and then when this quits, we'll step it up just a teeny tiny bit to the old DeWalt, and if need be, we'll we'll kick it up to the old wrist breaker here, and see what eventually ends up quitting or not quitting. I don't know, but yeah. So let's head out to the truck, and we'll go ahead and do that. I had to switch it to low. It wouldn't break it. Yep, that ain't gonna do it. No problem on the DeWalt. High speed too. Loosen up a little bit. Seems like the hammer tension comes loose if you don't hold it. But she did it. All right, 500 foot-pounds, 3/8 DeWalt, high speed, turned all the way up. A little smoky. All right, we got the wrist breaker, high speed. Let's see if she can do it. High speed, I said. I don't think she's going to do it. Regular old impact. Yep. There you go. Well, there we go. The testing has been done. Two things to get out of the way. Common comments that I get just that I want to address. This thing that I was using in that video, it's called a torque multiplier. It basically multiplies the torque from your torque wrench, and at 500, I don't have a 500 foot-pound torque wrench, but this is a 4-to-1, so you put 4 turns in here, makes 1 turn here, mechanical advantage, and that's how that all works. And also the lug nuts that I put oil on, I was putting oil on the washer, not on the actual threads, which you're not supposed to do, but you are supposed to put it on the washer. Read the manual, and people always, you're not supposed to oil the thread. I know, I've been doing this a while, but anyway, so getting into it, from what where the hell did I put the damn thing? The Milwaukee, it did the 125 torque just fine, which is actually kind of cool. 125, that puts you right in the little on the high side of a passenger vehicle. So yeah, that worked out pretty good. The old DeWalt 3/8 got us up to 375. You see in the video, this bad boy started smoking. It was actually smoking a lot longer than I remember, because the way the angle of the sun was, I couldn't see it. You could see it a lot better in the video. And good thing is these old brushed DeWalts, they put a lot of smoke in them in the factory, so you can let a little out and it'll still run. That being said, one thing I can say about, the reason why your standard impact has such a big motor on it is because the snap action on an impact where you're going from high torque to low torque, high torque to low torque, as the thing's rotating around so many odd times a second, it throws pretty high amp spikes into your motor. And yeah, that's probably one of the drawbacks of this, and maybe why they stopped making them. I'm not 100% sure, but again, it did good for a small drill on a lightly torqued lug. And the old wrist breaker, that kind of seemed to get us all the way up to the 500-pound mark. I will say that when the Torque Chest channel did theirs, they got it over, I think, if I remember correctly, over 550. I want to say close to 560, maybe 570. But they, again, were using a more modern brushless drill, whereas to this is an old brushed one. And I said in the beginning of the video, I only drill metal. It's not like I'm drilling 2-inch Forstner bits into hardwood all the time, which this would probably do. But again, so yeah, I think a more modern drill would have probably busted that last one loose. So, I mean, final thoughts on this thing. It's kind of a cool little thing for what it is. A little ahead of its time, I would think. I mean, this would be, this old 3/8 DeWalt here, the brushed DeWalt, would be more representative of what a DIY, backyard mechanic would use, and this is what I would assume that would be intended for. And you kind of saw that we got it a little bit smoky. So, but with a new brushless drill, I can't see why this wouldn't be at least usable. I don't think anytime soon you're going to see DeWalt or any of the other Milwaukee major tool brands coming out with one of these, because they'd rather just sell you a 3/8 or a 1/2-inch impact. So, but I mean, the weird thing is that it's all the stupid crap that China makes to bolt onto your existing tools to make other tools. I mean, why not make this one? I mean, I'm sure there's a patent still on this thing, but when have they ever respected intellectual properties? So, yeah, all that being said, it's kind of cool. I primarily made this video because I wanted to do a little experimenting with it, and maybe at some point in time in the future I'll get an idea to like supercharge hop this thing up. I was thinking about hooking it up to my grinder, my angle grinder. A lot of RPMs and a lot of torque in that thing, but the problem is the angle grinder only goes in one direction, which is tightening. So that kind of takes that out of the equation. But yeah, if I come up with an idea how to overrun this thing and maybe explode it, I think that would be fun too. We'll take another look at it. But as for now, that's about it for this this cool little gadget that nobody can buy anymore. I mean, maybe your grandfather's got one sitting in the bottom of the drawer of his toolbox, and you could steal his. But yeah, they don't sell them, and I did a quick internet search for anything even resembling this, and I couldn't find anything new. But yeah, so Torque Test channel, I'll link their video to this, and you can check that out. Again, he used a modern brushless drill, and he got some pretty impressive torque numbers out of this thing. And I will link to SomeGuy's garage video in the description there. You can check his video out on this thing as well. SomeGuy's garage, thank you again for sending this to me, and the maple syrup. Maybe next time send me a hockey puck. I'm kidding, of course. And yeah, you'll like SomeGuy's garage if you like my stuff. It's kind of a dude channel, tools and things like that. Kind of casual, like how I like to do things. But yeah, I think that's about it for this. So I thank you for watching. Questions, comments, concerns, you could leave them down in the thing, and there you go. A little bit ahead of its time, I think. Let's try that again.